Okay, so now we're going to continue with setting our paragraph parameters. So just go up to Format, and then you want to go to Paragraph. So you got indents and alignments here. Okay, so these are the different settings that are in here. But what we want right now is indents and spacing. And so the first line of a paragraph, we want a 1/2 inch. So this is correct the way I have it here. Now, some people, again, use the space bar or the tab bar to set their indents. You need to do it this way so that Kindle understands it. Okay, now spacing here, we have above the paragraph and below the paragraph. So below the paragraph, you want to set this to 10 point, which would be 0.10. Okay, and then paragraph alignment, this should be correct at left. Text flow, you usually aren't going to need to change this. Okay, and then line numbering. We're not using line numbering. Okay, so the rest of these you shouldn't really have to touch. So just click OK here, and that will reformat anything that needs to be reformatted here. Okay, so we'll have a consistent number of spaces below each paragraph. Okay, for 10 points worth of space and a consistent indent. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is go to View, and then we want to do Non-Printable Character View. And what this will tell us is that if we put any tabs in here where we don't want tabs, or character returns, or page breaks that we just don't want in there. So if you did a tab somewhere instead of using the indent, now we've already put the indents in, but if somebody put a tab in here before, we'll be able to see it. So you need to just go through and have a look at that and make sure it's okay. And once it is, you can go back in there and you can turn that off. So we don't need to look at the non-printable characters anymore. Now about images. In Word documents, you can just grab an image into your clipboard and paste it right in here. But when you're putting an image in for a Kindle book, you need to make sure that you use Insert and then insert whatever it is, an image or anything really. Make sure you use the Insert key and not copy and paste so that everything will work properly once you get it in here. Otherwise, when you're in Kindle, it may make the image not work properly. It may cut it off, might put it over 2 pages or something like that. So you need to use the Insert key to do these things to make sure everything works out properly. Okay, now before your first chapter, you're going to want some things in your book. Okay, so I'm going to insert a page break right above the chapter here. Oops. Better not break that up. So we'll try that again. So insert. Okay, so this is going to be our title page. So let's just put the title of the book in here. So we'll center. Well, first of all, we're going to take this heading off of here. So this isn't a heading. Heading is going to be used for our table of contents. So we're just going to put this as normal. Or default. Okay, and then we'll call it the name of the book. It's the title of the book that's going here. Okay, and then we're going to center that, and I'm going to bold it, and then I'm going to give it a size here. So we'll make it 15. Okay, so after that, we're going to put in another page break. And this could be your copyright statement here. So you could say copyright information and just put whatever you want here. So the copyright statement can be as large or as small as you feel you want in here. Okay, and then at the end of this, we're going to insert a page break again. Now, you can put other things here as well. For instance, if you wanted to put in a dedication or a forward, you can just make all the different pages you want for those types of things in here. So dedication, preface, etc. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is put in a table of contents. Now this is quite easy now since we've already used the built-in heading functions for our paragraphs. So we'll just put table of contents. Okay, and then we can generate the table of contents now. So we just do insert, and then you go down to indexes and tables, and then indexes and tables. Okay, so a screen pops up like this. Now, if you can leave this in here if you want, but we already put a title in there. Okay, so this gives you the look of it over here. And really, that's all there is to it. That's how easy it is to create a table of contents. So let's click OK. And there, we now have our table of contents automatically generated for us. So that makes it really easy to do that part. Okay, so when we look back up now, we have our title page. Then we have our copyright page. You might have a forward, dedication, and so on in front of this, and then your table of contents. Okay, now having done this, we actually should have had all of this stuff underneath so that there, or at least the copyright statement underneath the table of contents. So the table of contents should be right after the title page. Okay, so I'm going to delete this page. And then I'm going to insert it down here. So we'll do insert, manual break, and then a page break. All right, and then here is where we'll put our copyright. Okay, and so we're going to want to set this as heading 1. Okay, so now that will appear in here, but we're going to have to right click on this, and then we're going to have to edit it, and then click OK again. Okay, and then it appears in there. Now, in Kindle, it doesn't want all of this stuff in here. It's only going to want your chapter titles. So right click inside the table of contents here and go to index, edit index. Okay, so go over here and set this down to 1. Click OK. And now you just have the main chapter headlines here, and that's exactly what Kindle wants you to have. Now, Kindle does not like page numbers, so you got to get rid of those. So right click again, and we're going to edit the index. Go over to entries here. Now you'll see over here the different entries. You'll see this number sign here. Click on that, and then hit the delete key on your keyboard. You'll see now that this is clickable, so you can put it back in, but let's click OK, and page numbers are gone. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is put a bookmark for table of contents. The reason we're doing that is so that Kindle can find the table of contents when people want to go to the bookmarks. You can do that within Kindle, and they'll be able to go directly to the table of contents. So all we need to do is highlight this, And then we're going to go over to Insert, and then we're going to go to Bookmark. Now we're going to name this TOC and click OK. And now we have a bookmark there for our table of contents that Kindle will understand. Okay, at this point we're really done with all the formatting we need to do. Now I've already told you about images within the ebook here, and I'm going to put one in here because just to show you what happens when we actually get to a later step. So I'm going to insert an image here. So we'll go Insert, and then we're going to insert an image. So it's a picture actually in OpenOffice, and then from File here. Now this picture has nothing to do with speed reading, but I want you to see how it works a little later on in the process. So let's just put this in here. Okay, so we've done it properly by using Insert, and it's stuck the picture in line for us. Okay, now at this point it's time to save the document. So what we want to do is we're going to go to File, and we need to go into Save As. Now remember, we're in OpenOffice here, so we can't save it as a doc file or it won't work properly. Of course, if you're using Word, then you're just going to save it. So we'll do Save As. And now what we want to do is save it as an ODT file. Now, if you don't do it that way, if you just click Save here after your changes, it's going to pop up like this. So save in ODF format, which is an ODT file. So not to confuse you too much. So save that. And now we have it saved the way we need it. Okay, so that's it for our formatting of the actual book. So in the next video, we're going to go over the marketing cover, which is outside cover, and then the inside cover for the inside of your book.